Alright, so I know it's been a while since we've updated, what's going on with this thing. But since we're waiting on some parts, I think what we're going to go ahead and do is I want to work on this idea of getting the tail light to flip down, so that way I can have the filler neck right here. So basically just put it on a gas door hinge, and it'll come down like this, and then we'll end up taking this piece right here and just putting it right in this spot here. So it's got a perfect flat spot for that. So we need to try to get that done, and then we're going to get the tank straps in there to actually have this mounted in, because got some parts in the mail, but we will look at all that when it gets here, so that way you have something else to come back and watch. So let's go ahead and get the hole cut out for this, get that mounted in there, and then I'm going to have to take this tank and get it like have a bung welded onto it for the pipe to go into, because I don't have something to weld the aluminum with. So anyhow, let's jump right into that, try to get that done today, if not just this whole weekend, and then when those other parts get here, we'll get those on too. So got the filler neck piece in there, and it mounted up all right, but I'm gonna have to trim the back of the tail light right here to be able to clear this. So luckily, since this is an LED tail light, I don't need this part of the housing to actually do anything as far as reflection goes. So what I'll do is I'll cut the notch out to fit this, and then I'll just end up probably taking some sort of plastic or something with some epoxy to seal it back off, so obviously these circuit boards don't get wet. So not too big of a deal, but that's the only way to use that spot and keep it clean. But I just lucked out with having these aftermarket taillights. So now I need to go ahead and take this piece right here. I need to do a few things to the edge of it to clean it up. So basically stick that on the bottom of it, and then I need to attach this hinge to that to have the hinge mechanism, and that'll kind of sit right down in here. So let's go ahead and get the holes drilled in this, and then get it attached to the taillight, and then I can kind of go from there to see how this needs to be attached. All right, so now that I got that attached to there, you can see it just has the bolts that run through. I just need to trim this bracket up to be able to attach it to this, which I'm probably just going to end up welding it straight to it. And if I ever have to replace this hinge, I'll probably use a different hinge, because finding another rust-free Chevy Beretta hinge will be kind of hard to do. So I'll just weld it straight to that, and then once I get that done and have the hinge mechanism set up, I'll weld a bracket onto the car to attach this to. All right, so we've got the hole in the back of the taillight on there now. So that way it'll clear this. Which, like I said, I'm gonna have to come up with something to seal this area back off once it's all ready to go. But it clears pretty well. I have to do a little bit more trimming to get it to fully go up on there. But for the most part, it goes all the way up to it. It's just this bottom peg down here, which you can't really see that, but it doesn't want to go all the way up against it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get the back bumper off, so that way I can get the taillight screwed back into the body, and then I will build the bracket that will hold the hinge, and then I can attach the hinge to this. So probably have to take this on and off a couple times and screw around with it, but should be able to get it to work. This is what I came up with. This is from a Miata, actually the Not Your Hairdresser's Miata from one of my other YouTube videos, and decided to port that car out, so this is one of the pieces I'm going to use off of it. And this is actually the factory gas door latch. So I'm going to bring it up right here on this ledge through the bottom and put pull cable on it, so that way when the taillight goes up it doesn't just do this and it'll latch it in place, and then I'll just pull the latch and it'll pop out and then fold down. So all we gotta do is drill a hole, and then we gotta come up with a bracket to go from the taillight over to that and be able to push this button down. So let's see what we can come up with on that. Alright, so we got the basic idea here, which I just kind of bolted it onto this plastic piece. And this stays in there pretty stout, so I had to hook up a cable to this mechanism that I put in here. I can just pull on it right there, and it'll come down, fill your gas. So I need to do a little bit of work to the bracket there because it just barely touches the deck lid. So I mean, you can really just push this down and get it out of the way, but I want to try to avoid having to do that. So that's pretty sweet. So I think that's pretty much done there. I'm just gonna get this bracket all kind of welded in here. I mean, I might still try to make it removable. I'm just gonna have to build some plates that'll bolt it onto here. But you know, if I get in there and start thinking about it, I might just make it one with the car. We'll just have to see what happens. But there we go. So I decided what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to weld this as it is to the body. Because the thing is, if I ever have to take this hinge off to do anything with it, to like replace it, which would really be the only reason I'd have to take it off, I'm going to have to use a different hinge anyways, because to find the hinge that's rust-free off of a Beretta, it's not as easy to come by as it used to be. So I actually got this from Washington State when I lived out there with my mom forever ago, and you know, I'm just going to make it one with the car. I mean, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. I'll go back through, weld this, and then I'll just have to wire brush it and then paint it, and it'll be good to go. that's pretty much finished up. I got a strap hanging under there so I can open it up. I still got to get the cable for it, but it's in there pretty solid. No bumps are going to make that fall out. So if you have a cable in there, just pull it. That'll do that. And that'll fold down. And boom, there's your filler. And obviously it's got a fuel cell, so you know you could just do it so where you could open the trunk and just fill it here. But I just wanted something that was going to be a little bit different in the sense of, you know, coolness, I guess. So that pretty much wraps it up for today. That's really about all the time that we have because it's starting to get dark, and I was going to get the tank straps done, but I might just save that for tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, I still got a bunch of stuff to do in here. You know, some of the stuff that's coming in the mail. We got the steering wheel adapter to get the Momo steering wheel in there, which I think that'll turn out pretty sweet. And then I put my old special edition or whatever gauge space in there with Cadillac Eldorado needles. So still needs to get a windshield in it, which I'm excited for that because whoever comes and puts a windshield in it is going to be freaking out because they're just expecting a normal Grand Prix. So then real quick, we'll go under the hood. I think some things have changed since the last time that we looked at it. Got our makeshift fuel cell in there. This was just for a test fire. It did fire up. I had to do some things to the tune for that drive-by cable conversion that I did, but you know, she was breathing some life. So you know, I still have to come up with something for the downpipes for the exhaust manifolds, but these are just LS3 crate engine manifolds, and they work perfect. They clear that steering shaft just fine. Still got to get some power steering lines in there, the rest of the stuff for the cold air intake, but you know, we'll kind of get into more of that you know, as we go along here. So anyways, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. I mean, I was gonna make the taillight thing removable, but like I said, it was quick and easy just to weld it on there, and if I ever did need to replace it, I'm gonna have to redesign the hinge anyway. So like I said, the next thing that we're gonna be doing is we're gonna get those tank straps in there. We're gonna have the fuel cell mounted, and then I'm not gonna do a floor pan quite yet in the back because I want to keep that all open for whenever I go to first drive the car to make sure everything's going to hold up. Plus, I got a lot of gusseting to do still on those rails that come up anyways. You know, other than that, we'll go back through and we'll repaint that bracket and pretty much everything else whenever I do a full tear down of the car, get everything cleaned back up, and then spray it on. So that'll be saved away later for another day. But anyhow, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time.